Welcome to the Abundance Journey, the show that helps spiritual entrepreneurs create an abundance mindset that accelerates revenue. Secretly, everything you experience in your life is actually abundance. Once you understand how to activate abundance, you find yourself in flow with your business and clients, so it's easy to create the revenue you want. The Abundance Journey is the only show that activates abundance for you, so you enjoy rapid results in your business. Here's your host, the Abundance Ambassador, Elaine Starling.
So I was thinking about what would be a good topic for this episode. And I heard the divine say, talk about fear and how it manifests abundance. And I was just like, huh? What? I mean, to say that my jaw hit the ground is an understatement, let me tell you. I was like, okay, run that by me one more time. Talk about fear and how it manifests abundance. Well, that does sound like a really interesting topic, but I'm not really following you. I don't understand what you mean. Could you explain that to me in more detail? Because I'm just not getting that yet. You know, I've heard the acronym that's been around for years and years that fear really means false evidence appearing real, but I'm not tracking on how false evidence appearing real actually creates abundance. And Divine said, no. It really means forgive. So Fun Energy Acts Resourceful. And that's why it's so easy to use fear to manifest abundance. Well, let me tell you, this is not a usual conversation. I do have conversations with the divine all the time, but this one was really, really interesting. And I want to share the rest of our fascinating and juicy conversation in more detail in just a minute. But of course, the very first thing I want to do is take a moment to connect our energy, my energy, your energy, and the God of your understanding, so that you get everything you choose to receive out of this conversation. Now, we're going to do two different things to unite our energy. The first thing we're going to do is take 3 deep, slow breaths together. And as you breathe in through the nose, think the words, I am. And as you breathe out through the mouth, think the word consciousness. I'll remind you as we take those 3 deep breaths. The second thing we're going to do after resting in this space of divine grace for a few moments is to hold an intention together. An intention is what we choose to create and experience. We choose to create everything we want through our intention. And think of it as kind of like a spiritual GPS. We're letting the divine, the God of your understanding, know where we choose to go and how we choose to feel about it. Okay? And after I read the intention, we're going to hold it in silence for 78 seconds so that we really lock in that high vibration that the intention creates. We're making it much easier for the divine to connect with our high vibration so that they can guide us so we actually receive the intention and all of the goodness it contains. Now, the human mind is used to a lot of distraction. So 78 seconds can feel like a very long time. There are 2 different techniques that really help you hold that space and hold that energy for 78 seconds. The first technique is to pick 2 or 3 words from the intention that feel really expansive and uplifting and empowering. They inspire that high vibration that you are deliberately choosing to experience. So you're going to repeat those 2 or 3 words over and over again in your mind. The second technique is to notice what's happening in your body. Your body is a great big energy receiver. Just notice what's happening. You know, like you might feel goosebumps or get a ripple of heat, or maybe one part of your body is a little sore and all of a sudden a different part of your body is kind of sore. Anything that you notice is just a sign that the divine has already locked on to your vibration and is starting to move the energy to fulfill the intention with you. All right, let's go ahead and breathe together 3 times. Breathe in, I am. Breathe out, consciousness. Breathe in, I am. Breathe out, consciousness. Breathe in, I am. Breathe out, consciousness. In love and light, we hold the intention that we embrace the purpose of fear, empowering us to partner with the divine to realize our dreams and have a blast making them happen. Thank you, divine. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We give thanks, and so it is. Wow, there is a lot of energy around this topic. I think so many people are experiencing a lot of unrest right now. They're not sure what's going to happen. There's a lot of uncertainty. And so, yeah, a lot of people are struggling with fear right now. But I don't want to make any delays or go off on a tangent. I really want to get back to that conversation I was having with the divine because, frankly, it was a doozy. And I think it'll really help open you to receive abundance like never before. So, just to remind you what we were talking about, I was thinking about what topic I should use for today's episode. And the divine suggested that I talk about fear and how fear actually manifests abundance, which is a great topic, but I had no clue what they were talking about. So I asked for more information. But what really intrigued me was when the divine emphasized that it's easy to use fear to manifest abundance. That really made me sit up and take notice. And so I was asking the divine to explain this new to me definition in more detail. And I was saying, I want to make sure I really understand how this works. What kind of fear are you talking about? And the divine said, this is about the common fears that you feel when you sense a lack of control. So you aren't sure what to do. Common fear shows up as confusion, overwhelm, procrastination, frustration, missed expectations, and things like that. There are lots of people who enjoy watching horror movies because it gives them an adrenaline rush while they are secure in the knowledge that they have survived and their lives are way better than the characters on the screen. That's why Game of Thrones and the news are so popular. People feel a sense of controlled fear that makes them grateful for their lives in comparison to others. Unfortunately, thrills like that can get you trapped by fear instead of using it effectively. You get the adrenaline hit and you feel relief that you're alive, but you don't know how to leverage the energy of fear to make your own life better. It is important to understand that fear is an indicator, just like the turn signal on your car. All it is there to do is to indicate that you are currently feeling a lack of control. Fear is a sign that you're going beyond your comfort zone into the unknown. We are guiding you, and you are guiding us. We are eager to partner and play with you to help you manifest your dreams. Fear and all other types of resistance are a reminder to play with us, play with the divine. When you play with the divine is when the abundance starts to happen. I was like, wow, that's a lot to absorb. That's an interesting perspective on what fear is here to do. And so I was talking with the divine some more, and I'm like, you gave me a really interesting definition that fear actually means forgive. So Fun Energy Acts Resourceful. And then you said, that's why it's so easy for fear to manifest abundance. So I want you to break that down for me. Could you really take me through each part of that step by step so I have a much better idea of what you mean by that definition? So the divine said, fear is a reminder to forgive yourself and others for anything done intentionally or unintentionally that hurt you. When you forgive people who hurt you, you take away their power and you regain your own power. Everyone is doing the best they can from where they are in the moment. Remember how we told you to acknowledge your power? Forgiveness is a big part of that. Now, for those of you who haven't heard this story before, I want to bring you up to speed. I was washing some dishes in my kitchen several months ago, and I was just musing over why it is sometimes a project's really easy and other times it's really hard with lots of barriers and frustrations, and what's up with that? And as soon as I thought that question, a message came in my body, and I heard this and felt a voice, really loud, powerful, forceful voice that said, when you deny your power is denied to you. When you acknowledge your power is shown to you. You are more powerful than you can imagine. So that's the story that they were talking about, that we have power, and sometimes we deny our power, we abdicate our power, we give our power away to somebody else. We like to pretend that we're helpless when we're really not. And so the divine was saying, you really need to own that power. You need to acknowledge your power, even if you don't realize that you are powerful in the moment. If you declare that you are, you will be shown how you are powerful. So I replied back to the divine, yeah, I remember that that message really well. But I didn't realize that owning my power includes forgiving anybody that I feel has wronged me in any way. That's kind of news to me. And the divine said, yes, we want you to forgive others, forgive the situation that you are in, forgive the circumstances and conditions that make things difficult for you. And most importantly, forgive yourself for anything you did or did not do that hurt you. Everything that happens is designed to be a blessing for you. If you experience discomfort instead of recognizing the blessing, that is a sign that you denied your power or gave your power away to someone else. Forgive, to let go of that old energy and reclaim your power. This is why the Ho'oponopono prayer is so powerful. I love the Ho'oponopono prayer, and I use it often. And the prayer is, I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you. I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you. And you can start in whatever order you want to with those 4 phrases. Now, Ho'oponopono is a very, very powerful and effective prayer that is used to release negative energy that's impacting a situation and everyone involved in the situation. And it really works to dispel that energy and shift the environment for everyone. So I was doing Ho'oponopono, and while I was doing the Ho'oponopono, the divine gave me an affirmation that I can also use. Here is the affirmation, and of course it will be in the show notes, in the transcript that's in the show notes. I release all uncomfortable energy associated with anything I or anyone else has thought, said, or done, intentionally or unintentionally, that hurt me or someone else. I forgive everyone, the situation, the circumstances, and the conditions that created this uncomfortable energy and reclaim my full power. Well, I said that a couple of times, and I got to tell you, I immediately felt lighter. Something was released. I didn't even realize that I was hanging on to something, but something just dissipated for me when I said that affirmation a couple of times. But I still wanted to keep going. Forgive was the first part of the definition, but I wanted to get into the rest of the definition of fear. So I asked the divine, what role does fun play in fear? And the divine said, life is fun. You are living an adventure. You are guided to something new, which can push you outside your comfort zone, and that's okay. We want you to continually expand your spiritual awareness so more and more divine energy is flowing through you as you. That means you are continually guided to embody the divine, that fun, joyful, playful, silly energy that creates opportunities for you beyond imagining. You learn more easily, connect with others more readily, and accomplish more when you have a playful attitude. Approach every situation from the state of grateful curiosity. You don't know what's coming, and many blessings are present for you. So you eagerly tune in to witness and enjoy the blessings. Doesn't that sound like fun? I was like, well, yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun. I just want to get this straight. So it sounds like the divine wants us to forgive the old energy that's holding us back and accept fun, divine energy to guide us into the next step. Yes, I got a resounding yes. Okay, so we're going through the word fear, and the F in fear stands for fun. You mentioned that the E in fear stands for energy. What do you mean by that? The divine said, everything is energy. The chair you are sitting in, the money you desire, the relationships you crave, it's all energy. The energy you choose to experience is created and guided through your intention. Your intention is what you choose to create and how you choose to feel about it. It uses broad terms without deadlines, so you give the divine room to play. Your intention creates a high vibration that the divine can support and facilitate. And I totally get it. I love intentions. In fact, I run an intention group on Tuesday nights, and I was divinely guided to break my intention to 4 parts. So I always start with in love and light, because to me, that's acknowledging that the God of your understanding is a full partner and active participant in helping us manifest this intention. So it's kind of like a, hey, so glad you could join us message. And then the intention itself is just like typing in a spiritual address into a spiritual GPS. And just consider the intention we did today. We hold the intention that we embrace the purpose of fear, empowering us to partner with the divine to realize our dreams and have a blast making them happen. That phrase is what we choose to create and how we choose to feel about it. And of course, it's very broad terms and there are no deadlines in there. It's not like I said by tomorrow, right? No, we're embracing the purpose of fear, that it's an indicator to get us into a different state that empowers us to partner with the divine so we realize our dreams and have a great time doing it. That's the GPS address, okay? The third part of the intention is gratitude. Gratitude is the ignition switch to higher consciousness. Gratitude welcomes the adventure of how everything will show up in perfect divine timing. When I say thank you at the end of the intention, it immediately puts me into that state of grateful curiosity. So I'm wide open to witness the blessings that are showing up. I'm ready to receive. At the very end, I say, it is done. And that reminds me that I've done the hard part. I typed into the spiritual GPS. Now I can relax and let the divine guide me. So again, the whole definition is forgive. So Fun Energy Acts Resourceful. Forgive, we talked about. Fun is really about embodying that divine energy. Energy is talking about creating an intention to guide that fun divine energy where you want it to go, direct that energy where you want it to go. So then I want to know, what about acts? What does acts mean? And the divine corrected me. They're like, well, the term is acts resourceful, so don't separate the words. We want you to be resourceful while you are in action, because nothing happens unless you are willing to take resourceful action. Resourceful action is how you show the divine that you are invested in fulfilling your intention. It's not enough to have an intention. That gets the energy started. You keep the energy going through your actions that are aligned with your intention. You open your peripheral vision so you are more aware of everything that shows up that supports your intention and take action towards those things. Many things that are irrelevant, many things that are complete opposites also show up, giving you the opportunity to recommit to what is wanted. Put all of your attention on what is wanted and stay in action by being resourceful. You were curious about how fear makes it easier to manifest abundance. I said, yeah, absolutely. So the divine said, well, without thinking about it, what is one resourceful action you can take to manifest abundance? So I didn't really give it a lot of thought. I just got on my computer really quickly and I typed in Google and I Googled fast ways to make money. And an article, there were lots of articles that came up. There was one from the Penny Hoarder that talks about 50 ways to make $500 or more this week. And I will share the link in the show notes so that you can check it out yourself. But honestly, just get on Google and Google fast ways to make money and see what shows up for you. And I was kind of blown away. I hadn't even considered of doing that. It was just kind of a knee jerk, when the doctor hits your knee with a little hammer and your leg kicks up. That was what it was like for me, just going and typing it on Google. It was automatic. It was not something that I thought to do or I had to think hard about. I just did it. And the divine said, you might not want to do many of these ideas. We want to show you that the opportunities are there and they can inspire you to think of additional ideas that align better with your preferences. So I wanted to clarify with the divine. I'm like, so Acts Resourceful is all about enjoying getting in action to support my intention. Yes. Even little steps start the ball rolling. You are starting to manifest abundance. And I thought, I want to really wrap this up in a bow. I want to understand soup to nuts how this works step by step, what our role is and how abundance arrives, how we are active participants in manifesting abundance. So the divine said, we'll give you a quick recap. It's really funny. They know my sense of humor. And so the way the divine talks to me is just always a kick. Step 1, when you feel fear, immediately forgive. Use Ho'oponopono to release unsupportive energy and reclaim your power. Step 2, choose what you desire to manifest: a relationship, money, clients, things, experiences, knowledge, whatever it is, name it. Get into a fun state of mind by imagining that you already have what is desired. Really get your energy into a high vibration state with your grateful imagination. Step 3, create your intention and hold it in silence for 78 seconds so the divine can lock in on your high vibration and support your intention. Step 4, act resourceful by identifying actions you can take that support your intention. Start taking small steps to fulfill your intention. Notice what shows up in your experience that also supports your intention. Overhearing a conversation that suddenly inspires you, hearing about a useful book, having an insightful conversation with a friend or a mentor. We are guiding a lot of things your way, and some of them are subtle yet profound. So stay in grateful curiosity to receive all the blessings. Keep your attention on what is working, on what is aligned with your intention. Step 5, celebrate your progress. You are continually learning, growing, and becoming more aligned with the divine. This is how fear makes it easy to manifest abundance, because it reminds you to forgive. Have fun imagining what you desire being your experience right now. Directing the energy with your intention and acting resourceful to build momentum towards the abundance you prefer. This is the game of life. Enjoy it. That was like a direct instruction. Enjoy it. Just get busy and have fun with this. I was blown away by that conversation, but really, I felt like all of my questions had been answered. I felt complete and whole with that exchange. So I thank the divine for a wonderful conversation. And, while this happens to me a lot, every once in a while I get a much more intense message like this one. And I got to tell you, it never gets old. It's really amazing what can come through. So, wow, with all of this, we've got a lot to celebrate and a lot to activate. So make sure you stick around because we're going to activate abundance in just a moment. Hi, it's Elaine Starling, the Abundance Ambassador. And I know since you're listening to this show or watching this show, The Abundance Journey, you really want to experience more abundance in your life. Well, that's why I wrote the book, 5 Steps to Activate Your Abundance. It's available for sale right now from Amazon, from barnesandnoble.com, and many international sellers. And I want you to pick up a copy because I'm really opening the kimono here and sharing all of the information you need to experience abundance in every single aspect of your life. The book's divided into 3 parts. Part 1 is called Meeting the Divine. This is where I share my near-death experience and the conversation I got to have with our higher power during my stroke. In Part 2, Messages from the Divine, I share the best practices that I was given, the secret sauce in how life actually works. And so you understand really why you're here and how you can make the most of your life so you love every single moment. And then in the Part 3 is Partnering with the Divine. That's where I go into each of the 5 steps to activate your abundance and explain exactly why it works so well. So take a moment to pick up a copy. It's available as an ebook, a paperback book, an audiobook, and a video course. So however you like to absorb information, abundance is waiting for you. I'm still blown away by that message. I mean, honestly, that was intense. That was really amazing the way that information came through about how we can use fear to manifest the abundance we want in our lives. So, step one, I'm super grateful that I get these downloads, that I'm open and willing to receive them, that the messages, sometimes it's images that come through, sometimes it's sensations in my body. I'm able to translate that into English, and it makes sense to me anyway. What comes through really makes sense. So that's very exciting. I'm really grateful for that. Step two is to acknowledge something you heard that was kind of an aha for you. I never put together the idea that forgiveness is an important part of owning my power. That when I hold a grudge or I blame someone else, or I'm trying to point the finger at somebody else, or I'm judgmental about how someone else is approaching something, I'm actually tearing myself down. I am denying my own power, because from the divine context, everything is perfect. Everything is exactly the way it needs to be. All contrasts are present simultaneously. Every single spice you can imagine is in the spice cupboard. You don't have to use them all, but you have to be comfortable with the fact that they are there and they serve a purpose. You put your attention on what you want to focus on. You don't have to give any energy. Your attention is how you point energy somewhere. You don't have to do that if it's not something that you want to support. So I was really impressed with this idea that I need to forgive. And I'm not just forgiving another person. I'm forgiving myself. I'm forgiving the situation, the circumstances, the conditions, whatever's happening. I have to forgive all of it. And no wonder I've been hanging on to stuff way longer than I need to. Could have had a V8. So good to know. Really good to know. Step three is to appreciate the difference it can make in your life. Well, obviously, the divine made a big deal out of denying your power, and your power is denied to you. Acknowledge your power. Your power is shown to you. It doesn't mean that you already know what your power looks like or how it's going to show up. It means you declare that you have this power, and part of the way you declare it is you forgive. You forgive. It's something that I can do, and especially with a wonderful tool like Ho'oponopono, where I don't have to necessarily point out a specific person or a specific situation. I can, and I can work Ho'oponopono around that specific thing, or I can just do it in general. So I can clear the slate. I can clean things off and start fresh with my power intact. I love that. That was amazing. Step four is to activate abundance. And there's three different ways that we can do this. The first way is schedule time to get it done. Now, with this kind of thing, I also include journaling. And for me, journaling is really important because sometimes there's a lot of ideas and messages going through my mind, and I don't really get it until I write it down. And once I write it down, I can get an objective perspective and really see what's happening for me. So if I am not forgiving someone, or I'm holding a grudge, or I'm being judgmental of myself, is what happens a lot, or of somebody else, I'll notice it when I write about it. Does that make sense? And I need to be able to tell when I'm doing it so I can forgive. And when I forgive, I get my power back. So definitely going to be journaling, because that makes a huge difference for me. The second thing to do is to activate abundance by creating a physical trigger, like crossing your fingers or tugging on your earlobe. Anything that is a physical reminder that I forgive everything. I'm Switzerland, baby. I am agnostic, right? Why? Because I am allowing divine energy to flow through me, and I don't need to judge anything. I don't need to control anything. I have my preferences. I have my interests. I have my priorities for sure. And I can support other people at the same time. So having a physical trigger is a reminder to me. As soon as I start to feel a little bit of judgment coming up, I can forgive that judgment. I can forgive myself, and I can forgive the other person. And it's just a reminder, oh, I stepped out of grateful curiosity. It's that turn signal, right? That feeling where I need to do the forgiveness is because there's fear. There's some resistance showing up. And that is a sign, okay, there's something here to forgive so I can get back into alignment with the divine. Really powerful, using a physical trigger. The third way to activate abundance is to work with an accountability buddy. I call them abundance buddies. This is the Abundance Journey Show. Abundance buddies they're people who get you, they know you. You openly say, look, I want to make sure I am not being judgmental. I want to make sure that I'm being loving and supportive and open with people. And I want to own my power. So if you ever notice that I am denying my power or giving my power away, please call me on it, because I need to make sure that I take back my power, that I forgive the situation, I forgive myself, forgive whoever's involved, and take back my power. Having that objective perspective from someone that you know and trust really makes it a lot easier. It makes it more like a fun game. Step 5, celebrate your progress. This is a gorgeous, beautiful unfolding of your life, of all the amazing opportunities and abundance that is there for you in your life when you're willing to embrace it and receive it. And you are such a massive blessing. Of course, you deserve all the abundance you desire. That is my wish for you. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'll see you next time for the Abundance Journey.
You've been listening to the Abundance Journey Show with Elaine Starling. Visit theabundancejourney.com/podcast gifts to access today's gift, as well as gifts from our other guests. Tune in every week to activate abundance in your life and business. If something resonated with you, please share it with your friends so they can benefit too. Keep activating abundance, and we'll see you in the next episode.